So before Modern Warfare 3 was released and before the campaign came out, I made a video over on the main channel that was essentially trying to predict everything that was going to happen within Modern Warfare 3. I predicted who I thought was going to die, who certain characters were going to be, who was going to return, things along those lines, and even what the cliffhanger ending was going to be, as well as the post-credits scene. I put that all into one video and uploaded it, trying to see how much I would actually get correct. So today on the live stream, I actually went in, rewatched that video, and saw what I got right and what I got wrong. So essentially, that's what this video is. I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button if you do, subscribe, all of that jazz. And as always, enjoy. Begin with something that we already know. We know that the campaign mission that they have already shown and announced is called Operation 627, and it takes place in Verdansk. You play as a group of PMCs going into the Verdansk prison. You were going in to So you weren't necessarily playing as a group of PMCs, you were playing as Coney, which technically are PMCs, but or retrieve one of the prisoners that is inside the prison. When you go in, you see one of the prisoners being transferred out on a helicopter, but the characters say that this is not our guy. Wonder who that was. The person that you are looking for.
I got a bird up.
Movement in the courtyard. Looks like a prisoner transfer.
Not our guy. On me.
Now, by the end of the mission, you go down and you get to a prison door and you're about to open it and they end the trailer. The question is, who is behind this door and how is it going to play into the story? There's a couple things that you need to know to fully understand this. First of all, they tell us in a blog post that this prison is controlled essentially by the Coney Ultranationalists, a group that has taken over Verdansk. So that was wrong. So that's why I got this prediction wrong. And the story-wise, it makes little sense for a couple of reasons. If they were to hold Makarov in a prison, why would they hold him in a prison in Verdansk? It doesn't really make any sense. But as we find out, based off of that information, originally I thought that Vladimir Makarov was going to be the one hidden in this prison, and I should have just stuck with that. You were going in to assassinate him as the PMC group. However, the fact that this prison is controlled by the Coney Ultranationalists, in other words, Makarov's people, kind of eliminates him being held prisoner. Now, based off of the name of the operation called Operation 627, a lot of people, including myself, have had the idea that the prisoner in the prison is going to be like the original Modern Warfare 2, where Prisoner 627 is none other than Captain Price. He is Prisoner 627, hence the name of the operation, Operation 627. However, I found that to be a little bit too obvious. It was. So, using some context clues, the fact that we are playing as PMCs, in other words, Shadow Company, who would they be going to retrieve? Funny, that's not the actual gun that you have in the campaign. No one in here. In fact, they were looking for Vladimir Makarov. However, he has escaped with the help of the Coney Ultranationalists. The second option is that this is a PMC operator, but not Graves. We know that he is not imprisoned, but rather General Shepard, because I think the story would have been cooler if it was Shepard and this mission was later on in the campaign. But at the end of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, General Shepard is in the wind.
Any sign of Shepard?
So this one I think I got right.
Probably off the grid.
Oh, we'll find him.
And it would make sense for the PMCs that he controlled, in other words, Shadow Company, to go in and retrieve him from the prison. Oh, well, I didn't get that part right. Of General Shepard. All right, next thing, let's go with the big ones. Who is going to die in the campaign? So I get one of these right and one of these wrong. I still think if we went with what I say here, it would have been a lot better, but we'll dive into that after I talk about it. I am guessing that there are two characters that die and that the campaign is going to end on... By the way, I was right about the two characters dying thing, which that alone is pretty impressive. A cliffhanger, which I'm going to guess what that entire cliffhanger is as well. But let's start out with the deaths. I think there's one obvious one, and I think a lot of people are going to have this wrong, so let me explain. So in the trailer for the campaign, there is one scene in particular where they make it look like that Captain Price is going to die. Gaz yells out, "We need a medevac," and Captain Price looks like he is passing out.
We need medevac now!
Now, personally,
Turns out
he
didn't die,
think
so
that
we were
they're
right
gonna
there.
Kill off Captain Price if they show it in the trailer like that. That would be way too big of a thing to give away. However, I do believe that they need to kill one of the main characters because they just simply didn't do that throughout the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, and they need to have consequences to the things that actually happen. So if we go back to the original Modern Warfare 3, there is one major character, one of the big deaths of all time in Call of Duty, and that is Soap McTavish.
Soap! Not now, son. Just rest. Get a medic!
This is so much better than the death scene that is in Modern Warfare 3. Like, so much better.
You have to go now! Get off me!
Like, the music matches the moment. Now, let me be clear. I do not There's emotion
so
in it.
McTavish is going to die within Modern Warfare 3 because his character from the original trilogy has essentially been replaced with a different one. And that
So,
would have course
I stand by this. The fact that Soap being the one that died, Soap really didn't have an emotional role or tie to any of the main characters within Modern Warfare 3. There was the kind of relationship that Ghost had with him, but Price, he was just worked alongside him. I mean, I get it what they did with him being in the cutscene with Makarov in the beginning and him saying that he wants revenge and all of that. That made sense, but I think emotionally it would have been a lot better if Gaz died because one, he was in all 3 games. 2, he had this like kind of father-son relationship with Price. And 3, you just know more about him. There's more backstory to him. It'd be kind of the same as if Farah died. We know her whole backstory. There would have been a lot more to it. And I think it would have worked a lot better to get an emotional response out of people. Which, by the way, I don't think they'll ever kill Farah.
be Gaz or Kyle Garrick. He was introduced in Modern Warfare 2019 and immediately taken underneath Captain Price's wing. All of the lessons that have been taught through Captain Price have
So we
been
got that one
directed
wrong.
at him.
Where do we draw the line, sir?
You draw the line wherever you need it, Sergeant.
This is the best speech in the entire trilogy.
Someone has to make the enemy scared of the dark. We get dirty, and the world stays clean. That's the mission.
So I think that the way that they're going to build motivation for Captain Price to really get Makarov is going to be with the death of Gaz or Kyle Garrick. Now, the other thing that I think is going to come back from Modern Warfare 3, and I don't need to go in too much depth with this one,
We got this
the
right.
return of a character, and that is, of course, Yuri. He came in the original Modern Warfare 3, and I think they're going to bring him back once again. Whether the story remains the same, where he used to work with Makarov or not, we'll have to wait and see, but I definitely think Yuri is coming back. By the way, another
We got
theory
that one
that I
right.
had is, remember Operation 627 when they're rescuing that prisoner? I have a theory that potentially that could be Yuri in that prison, placed
This
there
would
by Vladimir
also have
Makarov
been
after he was
cooler.
informing to the American government while he was working for Vladimir Makarov, and that is how he is brought back.
Imagine for a second, you know that mission where we go in and meet up with Yuri? Imagine this mission happened after we find out that Kate Laswell is working with Yuri. You break into the prison, get Yuri out, and then he joins Task Force 141. That would have been so much better than Makarov being in there, at least in my opinion.
It's not my guess, but it is a theory. I just thought I'd throw that in there as
It
well.
doesn't work with the story whatsoever because of the whole Soap McTavish thing, getting revenge, being put in prison after Verdansk. It doesn't make sense, but I think it would have been better
For the
story.
second death, I have a feeling a lot of you think I'm going to go with Vladimir Makarov himself.
So I got
However,
both of these things
I don't
right.
think that is actually going to happen. I think he is going to somehow survive. But that being said,
So we were right about that.
when
Makarov did survive.
does die, I think one thing is going to happen. He is going to die in the same way that he died in Modern Warfare 3.
So that we will
is,
have
of
to
course,
find out.
by hanging.
That we'll have
Now,
to find
the reason
out
why I say this is
when
if you
Modern
have
Warfare
a
4
close
comes
look
out.
at his bio within Modern Warfare 3, which was found during Call of Duty Next, we find out that his father died by hanging, and actually Makarov was the one that found him. And Call of Duty and video games stories love parody like that, so I think that is the way Makarov will eventually go out too. But I don't think within Modern Warfare 3. As I mentioned, I think the end of the game is going to end off on a cliffhanger, a battle between Captain Price and Makarov.
I got that
we
right.
don't actually get to see what ends up happening.
I got
You end
that
up
right.
questioning whether or not Price dies or Makarov dies.
Didn't
This
go
leads us
that
to our
far,
next
which
thing,
should have,
the
but-
post-credit scene. This has been a big
I know I
thing
got this
in
one
Modern
wrong.
Warfare 2019, and of course Modern
And
Warfare
mine
2
would have been better.
introducing Makarov. So what is the post-credit scene going to be? So once again, I think they're going to follow the theme where Kate Laswell is having a conversation, a coffee, a beer, a tea with another operator. If Captain Price is missing or dead, my guess would be Gaz, but like I said, it's probably going to be Price. Gaz is going to die. And in this conversation, they're going to say that their next mission is to go. Kyrgyzstan is said to be the next Warzone map. And in this post-credit scene, the person that's going to be introduced is going to be once again Khalid al-Assad.
So yeah,
Because
I
if we
got that
follow
wrong. So the
the
post-credit scene is actually Shepard getting killed. And I don't remember whether I say it in this video or I wrote it in the comments, but Another prediction that I had is that Shepard was going to die. I thought Graves was going to kill him, and I think that story would have been better than Price killing him, but...
Tell from Verdansk, we found out that halfway through Warzone, Khalid al-Assad escaped.
Yeah,
and
we
left
still don't
to
know
go
what
back to
happened with him.
Urzikstan.
I'm
So once
guessing
again, I
we
believe
find
in
that out
post-credit scene, we are
in
going to
the
be
seasons.
reintroduced to Khalid al-Assad. Also, since we know that Viktor Zakhaev is coming to the zombie story, I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow get him involved as well. Another thing that I'm predicting involving Vladimir Makarov has to do with his backstory. I believe that we are going to get some sort of flashback mission that tells us how...
So I only got this one partially correct because Barkov was brought up by Yuri in the Modern Warfare 3 campaign, but he was brought up in a way that essentially didn't say that they were working together, but said that essentially Makarov was enamored by what Barkov did with gas and stuff like that. So he did get brought up. So I give myself half points on that
Vladimir
one.
Makarov came to be, and specifically shows him working with none other than Roman Barkov, the main bad guy from Modern Warfare 2019.
There should have been a
And
mission
finally,
like that.
the last thing that we have is the second death. Now,
I
there
get this
has
right.
to be a bad guy that is taken down within a Call of Duty campaign, and because I don't think it is going to be Vladimir Makarov, simply for the fact that as of right now, there's a rumor that there's going to be a Modern Warfare 4, and I don't think there's a better bad guy than Makarov. This leads me to believe that there is going to be another bad guy that perishes within Modern Warfare 3. And if I had to guess, I think that is going to be General Shepard. I think at the very beginning of the campaign, Shadow Company, the PMCs, are going to bring back General Shepard, and he's going to state that he is working for the good guys. But by the very end, Task Force 141 will have enough, and of course, we will bring down General Shepard. At least, that's my guess. So those are my reasonings and predictions for what is going to happen.
I would say that's about 50%. The two big ones that I got wrong were the fact that Makarov was in the Gulag. I thought that was just kind of too obvious. And everyone who was commenting on my videos, when I first made a video about that mission, I said it was going to be Makarov in there. And they're like, no, it's not Makarov. And they won me over. So that one I got wrong. And then Gaz dying instead of Soap. I think that would have been a better story and better for the character progression. Because essentially Captain Price treats Gaz like his son. But all in all, I think we did pretty good. Shepard dying, Yuri making a return. We got a bunch of big things correct. Barkov being somewhat involved. 50% isn't bad for literally like taking direct shots, naming direct characters. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's boot up Modern Warfare 3.